Thank you in advance for joining me today. I have a very special guest to share our first Faith Over Fear conversation. Allow me to introduce to some may know already, Miss Katosha Graves from Allentown, Pennsylvania. She's a certified tax professional and the owner of Ashton's Multi-Service Tax Services. She'll tell us more about that. Also, the creative mind behind No Normal hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and other, I don't know, I kind of look at it as I don't know who needs to hear this, but
yeah.
I don't know who needs to hear you. Outerwear and merch. She's a mother, a daughter, and she's becoming all what God has called her to be. And I'm so grateful for your time today. I give God the glory for having you here with me, Katosha. First and foremost, I just want to say that we want to give acknowledgement to the passing of our cousin, Tamara Amherst, and ask everyone who can and will lift up our family in prayer. This show or our conversation today is the first one for Faith Over Fear Conversations with Sha-E. We'd like to dedicate this show to our loved ones, the ones who are gone too soon. And we ask God to cover every grieving heart and allow every hurting soul to be healed. We ask this in the mighty name of Yeshua and Jesus the Messiah. And I'd be remiss to not say that I'd like to dedicate this first conversation to Neek, Tasha Neek, who is my niece and Tasha's sister, who passed on way before her time. So we want to dedicate this first conversation to Neek and baby.
Thank you. That was so nice. Thank you.
So welcome, and it's an honor and a pleasure to have you do this with me. Today is my first kind of like breaking out into following my dreams and kind of doing some things that I've been planning and talking about, and
yeah.
The title is Faith Over Fear. So tell me now, kind of like this time that we're going to spend, I want to learn more about you and what you're doing. You have a lot of positive projects going on, and you're doing some really wonderful things. I see you working hard behind the scenes. And so I'm going to ask you now, tell me your story and how you decided to create your own brand.
Okay, so we'll start with the taxes. So I stopped working last year with the COVID, the whole shutdown. Then I was on unemployment, and right before unemployment stopped, some lady on Facebook was advertising a tax class. So I was like, okay, unemployment's about to stop. I either have to go back to work or I have to start a business, because I like was thinking within that last year that I wanted to start a business, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. Like I didn't have a specific thing that I've always wanted to do. I guess I should say I've always worked customer service, like insurance, computer stuff, office stuff all my life. So I was very familiar with that. And I've done taxes for the last few years for other people and myself. So I'm familiar with taxes. So I was just like, okay, that's something I can do. I know I can do it. So I took the course, and with the course, it was opening up your own business. And once I started, like learning about opening my business and stuff, I'm like, okay, I can do this. Like, I'm not going to go back to work right then and there. I just decided I'm not going to go work for somebody else, I should say. I was like, I'm just going to feel my way and find out, what works best for me. So I don't know if the taxes is really, I don't know if that's what like my final thing, I guess, like as far as my business, it's just like a stepping stone, I guess, because I know it's something I can do. So I just went ahead with that, and that was in August. That was August of 2021. So that next month, September, I got the business started, and I was finishing my course, going through the course. And then in the course, the lady asked everyone to do something that they stopped doing or something that they wanted to do outside of work. Like as far as your personal life, just step out of your comfort zone and do something different. So I was like, you know what, let me go back to church, because I haven't been going to church and I need to do something else besides basically focusing on your career, focus on something else personal. Or like going to the gym, changing your, your eating style, things like that. So I was like, I'm going to go back to church because now I stopped going to church because I didn't have a church in Allentown to go to.
Okay.
There's like very few. And I just feel like I didn't never really fit in. And I feel like I grew way more watching TD Jakes
Okay.
than going into a church because I haven't found the right church. So you know what? Let me just stop saying that and get out of that mind frame. Like there's no churches in Allentown because that's what I was set on. Like I'm not gonna find a church in Allentown.
Right.
And I felt like I was having church because I was watching TD Jakes faithfully. So whatever. I went to church in October, and the Sunday I don't know if it was the first Sunday I went back to church. I think that second Sunday, God just started. He just started working right through me, and he was like, post a hoodie, and I just posted the hoodie. The Lord spoke to me, and I posted the hoodie. The hoodie idea was something that was revealed to me back when my sister died. It wasn't really a hoodie idea, but it was a revelation about being light. So in the middle of me starting my taxes, I went to church and God just told me, remember your hoodie? Remember what I told you last year? So I just did it. Like I just went on Facebook, made a little post about a hoodie. I really didn't have no plans on selling hoodies or doing anything with hoodies. I was like, I'm going to be the tax lady. You know, that's going to be my business. Right. So I listened, I followed the Holy Spirit. I posted hoodies and then boom, now I'm making hoodies. So the background on the hoodies is really different. Like I still don't know what to call it. I don't know what to say it is. Like I can't really say I sell hoodies or I sell clothing. Like I sell merch. I don't know where that's going to go because it's really no plan of mine. Right. Just the taxes was. So that I completed the tax course. I got certified. I opened up my business officially, everything in December.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah, that's the background on the taxes and the hoodies. That's what I have right now. Taxes and hoodies, clothing, t-shirts, hats.
Right. And I hear it's doing very well. I see a lot of people posting and supporting your brand.
Yeah.
I'm sharing, thank you for mine, right? So God hears you. I wear my sweatshirt and I do get a lot of compliments. Even when I posted it online, people were like, oh, where'd you get that from? So I'm tagging you into 10 things and letting people know where they can get theirs to rock, right? I'm always like, it really sounds to me like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but God hears you, right? So all your shirts and all your outfits, I was like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but let me show you my
God hears you.
Yes. Yeah, so that in itself is very inspirational. One thing you said is that I was gonna be the tax lady, right? And I'm doing t-shirts, but that's not my final destination kind of thing, right? And you're so right, because one thing I know, and when you go back to the speaker or the Bishop T.D. Jakes and the way he delivers messages, right? I enjoy listening to him too, and I grow from the message. I would say it's not about the messenger so much more as the message.
Yeah.
But one thing that he is big on that I heard him give this message way back, like maybe I'm telling you, when I lived in Allentown, maybe 20 years ago, is how he was talking about streams, right? So streams, and any successful person has streams. So understand that this might not be your end, but this will probably always be a part of your brand, because the more streams of income you have, which is what makes a person successful. So you are right ahead of the game. You're going out on faith, right? Faith over fear, moving right into having two entities to kind of call your own and hone in on. So right there, I mean, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. And because the title of our conversation is faith over fear, how does faith over fear, what does that mean to you? And I see your shirt says faith over fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another.
Yeah, that actually came to me when I was making a shirt, also, because I literally live by that. I mean, when it comes to everything, like my everyday living, really every day, because everything that I'm doing, I don't want to say I didn't want to, but I didn't plan on doing it. And everything that I'm doing is out of my comfort zone. Like there's nothing that I'm doing that I'm like, besides like the taxes, I know I do taxes, but actually getting the clients and getting the business yourself. And it's all faith, because I was told I was supposed to do that. I'm literally just believing that this is it. And fear, I feel like I have a lot of fear, which isn't good. And I used to think that you can't have faith and fear, but you can. You just have to have a little bit more faith. And I've always had a little bit more faith. So
I like that.
I made this shirt so that people's faith will overpower their fear. Like you have to have you can have fear, but you got to have a little bit more faith. And I've always had faith.
Come on, you better
And
go ahead and speak a word.
yeah, so yeah, faith over fear, like that's my thing. I mean, every day, like I said, every day is something going on in my life. My life is so crazy and it's scary. It's very, very, very scary. So like I said, I always have fear, but I always have a little bit more faith because I'm a believer. And that I wanted to give the faith over fear shirts like to people that don't really believe, because it takes a lot to get to that believing point that I got to. It's hard to believe in stuff that you can't see. Like I didn't see a successful tax business. I didn't see hoodies selling,
Right.
but I had faith in God that it's gonna work out. So
Right. And so it's already working. It sounds like, I love when you say that. I have fear. I have fear. We all do, right? We're human. If a person
yeah,
comes in here and say, "Oh, I have no fear," I wouldn't believe them, right? But to say, "I have a little bit more faith," though, right? I have a little bit more
yeah, just a little
faith. I have a
bit.
little bit. That's all it takes. The mustard seed. That's all it takes, right? So you have a
It
little bit
really
more
does.
faith. I like that. I'm going to remember that one myself for when I'm feared, because it's a lot of things. Just like now, like, oh, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna get started, and what keeps pushing us from getting started? Fear. But today I'm gonna have a little bit more faith, and I'm gonna make that call, and we're gonna start these conversations. So powerful. And then another question I have for you, and then we're gonna play a little game, right? Is what, if any, were any challenges that almost made you stop and put your own business and your own brand on the back burner?
um Fear of speaking out loud. I'm not, this is not me at all. So the thought that I had to actually advertise myself for taxes, that was a lot for me, because that's my struggle, is talking, speaking in front of people. All my office work that I've done for the last 10 years was always behind the scenes, always me in one little bubble on the computer. I didn't have to deal with people. I mean, I'm a people person on the flip side. If people know me, they know. But like this right here, this would be something I would have stopped me. Like honestly, if somebody like right now, other than this, like, oh, let's just go live and talk, I wouldn't have done it. I mean, I probably would have. I ain't gonna say that, because I would have prayed and me and God went back and forth.
Right.
But this stuff like this, because like I said, the taxes, I have to do a lot of self promoting, and money. Money is my big thing, because I had to invest. I had to invest in myself.
That's right.
And I didn't have the money, so I was gonna stop.
It's going to continue to pour into you. See, what those are the those are the plus signs that continue to add to your life, right? Being humble, being grateful, all those things begin
Yeah.
to be the plus signs in our life. That just adds to the goodness that is already upon us, right? So when you start to count
Yeah.
the blessings every day, and see the ways that you can be humble, be grateful, and those things begin to not only plus sign, they begin to have a time symbol. Now they're multiplied to us. So that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And then another thing, so I'm going to move on from the questions and go right into, where do you see yourself going on your journey? Like, and I'm not talking, it could be short term, it could be long term, it could be tomorrow, it could be 10 years from now. Where do you see yourself pushing towards?
I see myself talking more to other people, doing things like this, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with people's walk with God, people who don't really know God or want to get to know God, talking to people like that, maybe having some sort of like group. I don't want to say no church thing, no, like something like in a house, I guess, in a building,
Mm-hmm.
something bigger than my house, I should say, but like in a building with other people like me, talking to them and helping them, and of course having a successful tax office.
Well, I can certainly see you doing all of the above. your spirit is so pure, right? And your gift is so evident. So just never stop. And I do see you speaking to rooms filled with people just like you, just like me. Women, we all have a story, we all have a past, right? And I really see your light shining, and you will have the opportunity to speak and uplift women all over the world. I'm not just going to say in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm going to say globally, right? And when I say globally, you can reach people just like this. And so if this is something that you are that you want to get familiar with, this is a Zoom call, right? It's that doable that you could say, you know what, I'm gonna do a blog, or I'm gonna create a Zoom um, interview, or I'm gonna do something that's gonna put me in front of people to build up my public speaking, right? And keeping on, like there are some apps, and I'll tell you about this because I'm not sure if we can say this, but I'm going to say it anyway if it's not supposed to. But on Groupon, they have different classes that you can take in courses, whole courses on public speaking, all different kind of things.
Really? Yeah.
And as low as $5. Like I took a life coach one, right, for $5, a whole course. I haven't finished it yet. That's another thing, right? I need to really buckle down and get finished with that. But here, $5. I mean, that's the best $5 I ever spent, right? And at the end, I'll be certified to do whatever it is I'm going to do next.
Right.
But that was it. So at the end here, first I want to know, how can people follow you? How can they find out about, or how can they make an appointment for you to be their tax professional? And what does the multi service part mean? What does that mean?
So I did ask this multi-service because, like I said, when I started doing the taxes, I knew this was not just what I wanted to do. I just did it because I know I can.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that I can add more to it.
Nice.
Like if it's going to be like life insurance or things like that, I can add all of that under. And I just didn't want to limit myself to taxes.
I love it. So it's already out there.
Exactly. So I can be reached on my personal Facebook, which is my name, Katosha Grays. And then on there's a link to my business page, which is Aston's Multi-Service. And there's a website, phone number, everything's online. Instagram is Be the Light 1215 1215. Yeah, 1215.